the vice president of my international university. So then welcome to my university, and then so the dear all the honorable professors and then guests, and then so many our dear students, and especially I'm very grateful to introduce about my university, and then also very famous the professors, but John Dunn국내초청행사정리 from University of Cambridge. And then the 한상진 professor from Seoul National University, and then the Immanuel Petrovich from there. Thank you.
전남대에서 개최되는 학술 행사를 축하드립니다. 제 남편이 김대중 대통령은 민주주의와 인권 그리고 동아시아 평화를 위해 평생을 헌신했습니다. 이번 행사가 김대중 대통령의 꿈과 희망을 이어가는 뜻깊은 학술 행사가 되기를 기원합니다.
존 던 교수님은 1993년에 아버님께서 캠브리지 대학에 한 6개월 머무르신 적이 있었습니다. 그때 교수님과 자주 만나서 진지한 토론을 갖고 아버님의 철학에 많은 도움을 주신 아주 훌륭하신 교수님이십니다. 아버님께서는 1971년 대통령 선거 시절 그 당시 이미 한반도 3단계 통일 방안이라는 그런 책자를 정책집을 발표하셨습니다. 그 이후로 아버님의 그 마음속에는 항상 한반도의 평화 통일 이것이 꿈에 자라고 있었습니다.
이 한반도의 탈바꿈을 이끌어갈 수 있는 가장 귀중한 역사적 자원, 정말 보물 같은 지혜가 어디에 있느냐? 저는 김대중 전 대통령의 정치 철학에 있다고 개인적으로 확신하는 사람입니다. 이렇게 먼 길을 와주신 전던 교수님께 오늘 이 자리를 빌려서 이 행사의 공동 주최자로서 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. I deeply thank so much in my whole heart for Professor John to come long way to join our conference. Thank you so much.
Because it's much too long, and because it won't be at all clear, and you will suffer if you have to listen to even about half of it, I think. I will do the following. I will try to speak for 5 minutes at a time and give my patient trunk the opportunity to summarize ruthlessly what I've said on each occasion, and I will start again. And I will try very hard to keep to time.
Against a threat which you believe to be there. There are no security structures against all possible protections. They always have to be aimed in a particular direction.
서양하고 동양의 제가 어렸을 때 배웠던 서양에서 민주주의 나왔고 그 다음에는 전 세계도 서게 됐다고 고대 그리스부터 시작해서 그 신화는 제가 별로 안 믿어요. 그래서 첫 번째는 서양에서는 어떤 의미에서는 한 17세기부터는 참여적인 정치 결정이 있었지만
둘, 셋.
We will first hear Professor Hansangjin, who is holding this seminar, what he wanted to do, why he planned this seminar, and then we will start our presentation.
Actually, I met Professor John Dunn in Cambridge last year, December, and we decided to pay attention to populism because we see very wide spreading of populist idea in the world, not only in the developing new democratic countries, but also the core Western countries, so-called liberal democratic countries. So we thought it may be a good idea to invite Professor John Dunn to show some kind of theoretical reflection what it really means to say about populism in the Western context, and also what does it really mean in the developing country or new democracy. So that's why we are here to discuss about this interesting topic, particularly the idea whether or not, or if so, where is the danger of populism to democracy? What kind of democracy we have? Okay, that's up to you. Whatever the meaning of democracy may be, many people are thinking of populism as a potential danger to democracy, whether liberal democracy. Okay, perhaps, yeah. So where is it? How we can define this danger? What is it all to talk about populism, or there is any other aspect of populism? Not only danger, but also kind of contribution to further deepening process of democracy. Maybe, So it is very delicate, very complex kind of issues that we want to discuss this afternoon.
So it's very nice to be back again. I'm going to talk about the challenge of populism because that is the angle from which I'm definitely personally interested in populism as a possible topic. And I think the idea that the social sciences have any coherent point which is independent of the desire to understand the human world better for ultimately practical reasons is hopelessly confused. I don't think you can vindicate it. I also think, this is much more tiresome, I'm afraid, but it is what I believe, I also think that when the social sciences aspire to meet politics, what actually happens to quite a large degree is that politics always slips away. It doesn't actually capture politics. But of course I don't think that there isn't a lot of political illumination to be got from the efforts of social scientists to do so when they are more successful. So it's like fishing for something with a rather too large a mesh in your net. And you won't really catch what you want to catch, but if you do it a lot, you'll see quite a lot of fish better than you otherwise would, sooner or later. And recently they've been failing to do so in very many settings, and succeeding effortlessly in doing so in my view nowhere at all. And that's before you get on to the question of what is happening to the globe as a human habitat as a result of human action, which, as you all must know, is still going rapidly worse, pretty much everywhere. You can't protect democracy without protecting human lives, and you can't protect it effectively unless you learn how to protect those lives across generations far into the future.
That's probably because it's extremely difficult to define what populism really means. There are a lot of variations, right-wing populism, left-wing populism, depending on the personality, regime, policies, discourse. There are a lot of differences. So it is extremely difficult to develop that concept as a kind of a social scientific concept. It has been used so widely in politics, yes, of course. In journalism, yes, of course. We just accuse each other to be populist. You are populist. Okay. So in Korea, for example, today we have seen what we call candlelight protest movement, which was understood as a populist movement by some, kind of conservative faction. And also we have seen national flag movement, 태극기. That is also a populist movement, and of course, the liberal or progressive people may call that as a populist movement. So what does really populism mean? That is a kind of big issue confronting us this issue is very serious because that concept or term has been so widely used today. From the bottom, so they feel they somehow, my interpretation, they would like to find a possible way out by way of supporting this idea of strong president, unbound by any congressional, parliamentary power, any social movement, social power. So that is a threat. I'm reporting what I learned from but this is not my personal, ideology or theoretical observation at all. I only report to you what I learned from my empirical study. And as far as what I'm thinking, what would be desirable way of development, that is different things. I have my own personal feeling, personal idea, but nonetheless, I'm so glad that I have a good opportunity to present my finding to you. Again and again, it is nothing more than a research note. And again, I'm very much confused actually. So I will try to figure out the better way that I can make a presentation based upon this discussion today. Thank you very much.